Yeah, so good morning. So results of class 10 and as well as parents and teachers, what is the next step of verification or evaluation? So I thought I'll do a session today. This will take just 10-15 minutes to explain to you the various terms that are result in the report card, and also I'll be talking about how to apply for verification and re-evaluation. So hopefully you have gone through the circular issued by CBSE. The dates are already out for the verification. So first let me talk about class 12. For class 12, the dates given are 17th to 21st for verification. 17th to 21st of July. Okay, so you have time up till 21st, that is Tuesday, to apply for verification. Now, please remember, verification means just retotaling of the marks. Verification does not include rechecking. It is just retotaling of your marks. So whatever marks you're getting, probably the examiner has made a mistake in adding, or probably there is an error in the computer uh, with regards to the total. So the verification is totally different from re-evaluation. So this is the first step. It's mandatory if you want to go to the next step. Because some people think that we can do re-evaluation, don't go for re-verification. That is wrong. As per the notification of CBSE, it's very important that you go stepwise. So step number one is verification, which is compulsory if you are having any problem with the mark sheet that you have obtained. Right? So this will cost you 500 rupees. Okay, the link will be active on CBSE site, which you know is www.cbse.nic.in. So the link is there. So you need to apply through link online. You will not go to your schools. You don't have to visit your CBSE office. Everything is online. So you need to apply for this with 500 rupees. And the dates given for class 12 is 17 to 21st. And for class 10, it is from 20th to 24th. So class 12, the process has already started. For class 10, it's going to start from 20th, that's tomorrow, up to 24th July, up to 5 p.m. Okay, so 24th July, 5 p.m. is your deadline. And the charges for class 12 as well as 10 is the same, that is 500 rupees, right? The second step is application for a photocopy. Now, as per the RTI, that is the right to information, you have the right to ask for the photocopy of your paper. So what you need to do is, after verification, if you're still not satisfied, 80% of the times the problem gets solved in step one, but still if you're not satisfied, you need to apply for a photocopy of your paper. For class 12, the dates are 1st and 2nd of August, and for class 10, it is 4th and 5th of August. Again, I'm repeating, for class 12, it is 1st and 2nd of August, and for class 10, 4th and 5th August. And the charges for class 12 for getting the full photocopy is 700 rupees for the subject that you are applying for, and for class 10, it is 500, right? After you get your photocopy, you need to go through your answer sheet. And probably this exam was months ago, so you must have forgotten what you have written. So this is a chance for you to get your answers evaluated either by your teachers or by some expert, or you could do a self-evaluation, because you will also be getting the marking scheme along with it. So if you think that the examiner has been too strict in not awarding you marks, or some questions are unmarked, then you need to make note of those questions. So out of 30, possibly 25 questions are okay. You have a problem in 4 or 5 questions. Okay, then what you need to do is challenge the CBSE with respect to those questions only. So when you challenge those questions, what you need to do is, the challenge per question, the money that has to be given to CBSE is 100 rupees per question. So kindly do not challenge all the questions, because it's possible that the marking is right in majority. Possibly what happens is that a few questions have been marked wrongly. You need to go through the marking scheme, or you can consult any of your subject teachers who will go through the paper and justify whether what you have written is correct or wrong. And if they feel that you have not been given justice, then you should go for the third step, that is the process of re-evaluation. Now, re-evaluation is not again going to be for the full paper. It is only on the questions which you have challenged, in which you have problem. So there is a possibility that you have a problem in only one question, 5 questions, 10 questions. That depends on person to person. So kindly make note of the questions that you have a problem in, and then you need to apply for only those questions. Now, many of you ask, sir, should we go for evaluation? Can the marks decrease? The answer is yes. So, if you are 100% confident that you are capable of getting more than at least 5 marks, so you got 70 and you deserve at least 75, then please go for evaluation. Otherwise, if you're not sure, please do not go, because there is a possibility that it will decrease. And you need to surrender your mark sheet the first time when you are going for evaluation. The second one will be released, and that will be your final one. So be ready to accept the reduced marks if you're not confident of your challenge. So make sure 100% that you are getting at least 5 marks, not that you are expecting 72 and the examiner has given 70. I think that plus 1 2, my personal advice is you shouldn't go for that, because the marking scheme is going to be provided. So when you go through that, you will understand your mistakes. But of course, there are cases where students have got 70 in the board exam, but actually he deserved 90 plus. Okay, we had a student in our school itself. He got 68 in science, and he was one of the toppers. And when he went for evaluation, it was actually 96. So there could be differences. That 0.01%, because lakhs of students are giving, so there is a possibility that you are also one of the affected candidates. So it is very important that you make sure that you are giving your evaluation only after going through the paper sufficient number of times, and then you go for the re-evaluation. So I hope this part is clear, the difference between verification and re-evaluation. So just to be clear, the verification is just totaling of the marks. There is no correction involved. And the re-evaluation is correcting only those questions in which you have challenged the CBSE for less marks, right? So the re-evaluation for class 12 will happen on 6th and 7th of August. And as I told you, it's 100 rupees per question. And the re-evaluation for class 10 will happen on 10th and 11th of August. Again, rupees 100 per question. So these are the 3 steps which CBSE has already given us, and you can make use of these facilities if you are not satisfied, so that you get your correct mark sheet. And there are other terms also which I would like to explain in the CBSE this time. There has been certain errors in the mark sheet that was delivered. So a lot of symbols which earlier used to be there has been replaced with the new short forms. So I'm just going to explain those. The first one is RT. Now, CBSE, because of so many suggestions from the HRD ministry and counselors, are not using the word fail. Okay, they're not using the word fail. So it is it's written differently. So if there is a symbol RT against any subject, that means repeat in theory. So the theory has to be repeated. So if out of 100, you know that in class 11 and 12, in 12 board exam, you need to pass separately for the theory and the practical. So RT means repeat in theory. So he has passed in the practicals, but he has not cleared his theory. So he needs to give his theory paper, right? Then there is RP, which is repeat in practicals. So it's a very unlikely situation. Probably he was absent, or something happened and he couldn't give his practical exam, or he did his practicals very miserably. So that is a repeat in practicals, RP. Then we have ER. Now that is the danger word for this year, ER, that is essential repeat. In bold words, it means the child has failed. Okay, so they're not using failed, they're using ER, and ER is actually essential repeat. Essentially, you have to repeat the class. That means there is no scope of going for any compartment or anything. Of course, you can go for the re-evaluation and all that, but ER means you are actually failed. And if you think that you have passed in any subject, please be for re-evaluation, re-verification, and re-evaluation. Then we have this time a very specific RL. RL stands for result late. Due to some circumstances, the result is not declared for these candidates. There were riots in Delhi. Some students could not give, and the average was worked out and the marks were given in some cases. But in many other cases, the student was able to give one or two, and the averages could not be worked out. Or there were so some students, a small majority of the students have got RL. The result will be declared at a later stage for these candidates. Then a lot of private candidates were there. Every year we have private candidates, but in this year's private candidates, you find that in the result that was declared, the marks of the practical exam are not shown. Okay, so suppose you had 70 marks in theory, 30 marks was practical. So the 30 marks practical is not shown. So what happens? They have given, however, the marks out of 100. So these marks have been awarded on pro rata basis. Now, what is the meaning of this? People get confused. It means that whatever marks you have got out of 70 has been extrapolated to 100. That means it has been converted out of 100. So don't think that the board has not added the practical marks, since due to various circumstances this year, the practical could not be held in some areas, and the private candidates were not able to give these. Their marks are also given out of 100. That is only theory marks actually, but what you got out of 70 or 18, depending on the subjects and the class, has been extrapolated to 100. Then in some certificates, there was a letter P given, and that was very confusing. I mean, for most of us teachers, we couldn't explain what this P is, and in some, against the result, it was G. We hadn't seen a result like this, and we were confused what answer we could give. But when we asked the clarification from the CPSE office, they said it was due to a programming error. Okay, so you don't have to worry about the P and G in your certificates. These are due to some errors which have kept in the crept in the programming. So you can neglect it. When you get your new mark sheet, you will not have these P and G. So it is nothing related to the marks. So you can be assured that the new mark sheet, when you get from your schools or when the CBSE issues it on your digi lockers, the next mark sheet will not have these symbols. Okay. Then, as far as the compartment exams are concerned, you know that every student is supposed to get 33% and above, and any student who is not getting 33% will have to repeat that. So one subject is compartment, okay, and if you are ER, then obviously you are failed, you cannot give those. So, but compartment students have the opportunity to give the exams. Now, when will this happen is a big question mark, because depending on the COVID conditions of different states, the state government will take a decision soon, but it's not going to be very soon. I think it should be in August somewhere, mid-August after that. So let's wait and see for the dates. Nothing has been mentioned so far. We'll have to just wait for another 2 weeks so that the CBSE declares those dates. Many are also confused about the grades that are given. The grades that are given in the CBSE mark sheet. Some students are getting 90 and getting B grade in that, okay, and some students are getting probably 78 and getting an A grade. So this is not based on your CCE basis, okay, that anybody who gets 90 gets an A grade, and those getting between 80 and 90 are getting B. It's not like that. The CBSE works on a percentile system. Now, when you talk about percentile, it means that if you are in the top 1/8 of the candidates all over India, then you get an A1 grade. So it depends on the performance of the students across India. So even if you've got 95 in maths, probably you must have got an A2 grade. I'm just giving you an example because the number of A1s are very high. But in a subject like probably Hindi, where the marks are not very high, probably if you get 88, you are in the A1 grade. So this is a relative grade. It is nothing related to marks. So please don't get confused that I got 91, but still I'm getting B. In another subject, I'm getting 85, I'm getting A1. So this A1, A2, B1, B2 is a relative grade based on the percentile on the overall performance of the kids. So I hope I have covered all the points, and it's somewhat clear to you on how to go about the revaluation, re-verification, and the mark sheet. I hope I was able to explain. So thank you. I think if you have any more doubts, I'm always available on WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube. all the channels, and you can message me personally. And this video was created because this past 2 3 days many were worried about what is the procedure, and especially in some subjects the marking has not been done properly. So a lot of students and parents are worried about what should be done. So I thought I'll go live and clear all this. So thank you so much, and hope I was able to clarify a lot of things. Thank you.